Welcome back to Haulover Inlet, where man and machine take on Mother Nature and boats versus Haulover. I am your host, Broncos Guru, along with our boy Wavy Boats down at the inlet getting the images. And let's go ahead and get this one started. Based on what I'm seeing right here, it looks like it's going to be a little bit of a feisty day. Our first captain and vessel to step in the ring and do battle with Haulover this episode is going to show us what it's like coming through Haulover on a big day. This is obviously a pretty big boat. This is an Azimuth 50, and this vessel right here is rocking and rolling as it's coming through Haulover. Right here, this really does give you a justification of the size of the waves on this day. If this boat's taking spray and rocking like this, some of our smaller vessels probably going to have a little bit of trouble today trying to get through without having a rough ride kind of like these guys are here. I'm always curious when I see these big boats come through here and it's rocking like this. I wonder what the interior of this vessel looks like at the end of this day. Is everything still intact? Everything still in place? Or if a lot of items shifted and you got to do a little cleanup work once you get through the inlet? If you've ever been on a vessel this size out in conditions like this, hit me up in the comments and let me know. I'm just curious what your experience was like when you went through something like this. These guys took a pretty rough ride, so I'm going to give this round to Haulover. In our next round, we got a boat that's going to go for the win, and these boats typically don't fare well in Haulover when the conditions are rough. These little small cabin cruisers typically are bow heavy and wind up nosediving a whole lot through Haulover when conditions are rough. My man must have his engine trimmed up pretty heavy here though to keep that bow and nose up. This is a pretty slick move on his part, because typically I don't see guys come through here having the same success he's having of keeping the bow raised on this boat. Right here he's done a pretty solid job, and I'm actually going to go ahead and give this round to the boat. Our next vessel to come through Haulover Inlet though is not going to have the same success this guy had. In fact, he's going to have a lot more trouble because he's fighting on one leg. Here, this sport fishing vessel is coming back through Haulover Inlet, but they have lost a motor, and they're going to struggle heavily trying to come back in Haulover Inlet, as this is an outgoing tide, and this current is absolutely ripping when it's an outgoing tide. A vessel like this is already fairly difficult to handle if you're down to one motor, and this is just going to make things a whole lot worse and a whole lot more complicated. These guys are doing everything in their power to try and make it in, but after multiple attempts, right here's the third attempt, they finally do wind up having to give up, and they have to call Cito to come out and get them. I'm going to show you kind of some of the scenes that happened right here.
Hey, Cap, what's wrong with your engine? Can you up here and bring me in? I can't see you right here. It's too rough.
Obviously, we're going to go ahead and give this round to Haulover. If you want to see this whole event though, I'm going to leave it at the end of the video. Our next vessel is not going to have problems with the big waves like our last boat did, but he's going to come rolling through Haulover Inlet and do a pretty solid job of doing it. Here this Dusky's rolling in at just the right pace for this boat. Once again, every boat's got different capabilities, and this captain obviously knows his. And he really knows Haulover as well, because he's made the V-line to the calmer side of the inlet, which is the northern side of the inlet. Right here, my man's going to take a win for the boats, and that's going to take us into our fifth and final round, tied at 2 apiece, where we got a small boat who's going to come out here and try and compete with the champ. My man's going to try and take this what appears to be about a 17 to 19 foot vessel out of Haulover on this rough day we've seen. Once again, he's not hauling tail, but he really can't. In a vessel this size, he's got to pick his battles and pick how he wants to fight, and he's actually doing a pretty solid job right here. And it actually appears he's going to have no issues getting out of Haulover Inlet, and that's going to go ahead and give this round to the boats, and that's going to give this episode to the boats. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Boats vs. Haulover. If you did, be sure to check out our other 2 channels. We have Wavy Boats, who gets us all this great footage down at Haulover Inlet, and my channel Broncos Guru, we do some great comedy boating videos over there as well. And if you haven't already, go ahead and drop an anchor on that subscribe button. And as I mentioned, I'll go ahead and leave the rest of that clip where the boat gets rescued here.
again. Hey, Cap, what's wrong with your engine?
Yeah, 1 second.
Can you turn me up here and bring me in? I can't see you right here. It's too rough. Try to go out, Cap. Not that way where the water's more calmer. My starboard motor's out. My starboard motor's out.
The starboard motor is out. This is customer second line. Close out assistance at this time, over. Hey, Captain, this is Tubbo US. I'm at Haulover. You need me to meet you out there?
Yeah, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 ships on board and 4 adults. Aye.
Haulover, this is the Coast Guard 16.
Sector Miami, this is Passion Spot, you got me? Hey, Coast Guard, this is Steve from Miami. I'm assisting the vessel right now. Just give me a feel.
That's the spot. This is second Miami. Your